Foundation was created over 5 years ago to carry on synthesizer pioneer Bob Moog's legacy. Our mission is to ignite creativity at the intersection of music, science, history, and innovation. One of our projects is to bring Moog instruments into the schools to teach kids the science behind sound. That's our Moog Lab program. Thank you. Thank you. Another component is a historical component. We are protecting and preserving Bob Moog's archives. And we are hoping that these two projects will converge one day into our own museum that we like to call our Moogseum. Bob Moog lives on this stage this weekend. He lives through the instruments, through the musicians. And Bob Moog lives through Erik Norlander. As synchronicity would have it, this festival falls on the eve of what would have been Bob Moog's 77th birthday. Yes, it is a very poignant time, and at this time of year, the Bob Moog Foundation always pauses to reflect on the birth of a man and the birth of a legacy. Erik summarized perfectly what the Moog legacy is all about when he said, "Bob Moog gave me my voice." And this is perhaps where Bob Moog had the deepest impact, was giving countless musicians around the world their voice. He expanded their sonic palette, pushed their imaginations, and opened a new world of musical expression for them to explore, use, and share with all of us. You know, ironically, Bob didn't consider himself a musician, although he took piano for 14 years and was quite good at it. He considered himself a toolmaker who worked at the bequest of musicians. His lifelong passion was putting highly expressive instruments into the hands of these musical artists. Much like the inventor of the paintbrush, who created a tool for people to make art, but didn't know what art would come from that tool. One of Bob's biggest satisfactions was hearing the sonic art that came from his musical creations. That sonic art will come alive tonight through the talents of Erik Norlander. Erik is going to be performing on 3 Moog instruments tonight. And one of them is of particular interest, and that is this beautiful instrument in back of me, the one that Erik lovingly refers to as the Wall of Doom. This massive custom Moog modular synthesizer will provide the sonic backdrop for the evening. Many of the modules in this system were created in 1967, 44 years ago, in Trumansburg, New York, where Bob first got his start. So there's a lot of history in this instrument. For those of you who don't know modular synthesis, who don't understand modular synthesis, the basic principle is that you connect one musical parameter to the next to create and sculpt a desired sound. This technology is the genesis for almost every synthesizer that you'll see on the stage tonight. Now, the Wall of Doom used to be just that. It was a wall. It was a 6-foot by 7-foot wall that lived and breathed in Erik's studio, and that was woven throughout all of his albums. Erik and the Bob Moog Foundation partnered about a year ago to transform the Wall of Doom into these 6 portable modules that you see behind you, so that we could make modular synthesis accessible to audiences like you. As you might imagine, it's the rare keyboardist who will take on touring with an instrument like this. Not only because of its size, but because it's technically complex, really. Synthesists who can use these kind of systems are scientists in themselves, and because it's time-consuming to maintain. But those demands of modular synthesis, particularly the vintage systems, are surpassed by the unparalleled richness and the breadth of capabilities that they provide. Erik rises to the challenge the vintage modular synthesis demands in his quest for the highest musical expressivity, which is woven throughout all of his music. And I'd like to stop here for just a second and say thank you to Erik Norlander for taking on this technology, for using it throughout his music, and for carrying the torch for the Moog legacy. That is a richly deserved round of applause because Erik works very, very hard and intelligently at what he does, and we reap the benefit of that through his music. Tonight's performance represents the best of Erik's work, from his back catalog that includes work from his solo work to his work with the rocket scientists and his work with his beautiful chanteuse wife, Lana Lane. Tonight, and from the CD of the same name, the Galactic Collective will bring Erik's work to new heights. Their performance will provide the sonic equivalent of a luminous birthday candle glowing in the dusk, honoring a pioneer who gave so many musicians their voice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you Erik Norlander and the Galactic Collective.